is going live now. Okay, so I'm wait a few minutes. Hopefully having going at the same time doesn't make everything bad internet. So how's everybody doing? Go ahead and say something in the comments. Say hello. How's everybody doing today? Where are you? What's going on? It is a bit cloudy here. I'm gonna move I can show you my phone. It's very cloudy. You can see it in a cloud. Was trying to dry some clothes. Today was so okay. How's everybody doing? Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? Okay, from on the weather's kind of chilly here. It's a little like I said, but we are kind of high up there. Okay, so people can hear and see me. That's awesome. Make a comment if you have any questions. So as you all know, I specialize mostly in the southern zone. So I kind of consider the southern zone, well, it doesn't maybe totally include Manuel Antonio, but I know that some of my clients have interested in that area. So I want to cover Manuel Antonio, Quepos. There's a little town of Matapalo kind of halfway between Quepos and Dominical. I want to talk about Dominical. Up from Dominical, there's Platanillo, Tinamastes. That's just going up the mountain from the coast. But then if you keep going south from Dominical, you're going to get Uvita, Ojochal, and then you go into like the Osa, you know, you're like way in the south after that. So all amazing areas. And someone had made a comment about they wanted to hear about places to stay and things to do in the southern zone. So let me know if for some reason I cut out, you can't hear me. And yeah, so I want to start with Manuel Antonio and Quepos. This is an area that I lived in years ago. I was actually pretty deep in the jungle up by Tinamastes, and I was like, I need people. So I went to Manuel Antonio, and there was plenty of people there. For me personally, not favorite place to live. It's really amazing to go visit. The beach is beautiful. It's very touristy. There's lots of restaurants. So if you're going south on the main highway in Costa Rica, if you've been here before, maybe you're familiar with it. If not, if you're coming from San Jose, there's a road that will take you towards the coast, and you can basically just keep going south all the way down the coast to Panama. So Quepos is the town that's like right off that main road. So in Quepos, there's bigger grocery stores, doctors, dentists, all kinds of stores. It's kind of like a little town, but it's definitely bigger than Dominical, bigger than Uvita, but pretty decent sized little town where you can get a lot of things. So you have to go through Quepos in order to get to Manuel Antonio. So if you want to look this up on a map, Manuel Antonio is kind of like a little peninsula that jets off of Quepos, and there's only one road in and out. So you enter that little peninsula, and you actually go uphill a lot. It's kind of hilly, and then you'll make your way down to the beach. It probably takes about that entire road down to the very end. You want to get out of there. So collectivos. So when a car will drive by, you know, you can kind of wave your hand at it, and they will take you all the way down to the end for $1. So getting around there is very easy between Quepos and Manuel Antonio. So if you are someone who doesn't have a car, you really wouldn't need a car in that area. Of course, if you want a car and it's going to be convenient for you, then and it's within your budget, then definitely consider it. It allows for a lot more freedom, as you don't have to rely on bus times or get caught out in the rain. But so yeah, what I did like about Manuel Antonio, Quepos, is it's very easy to get around. You really can get to what you need, whether it's a doctor, dentist, cheaper grocery stores. The beaches are beautiful. It has the national park, which of course I have to mention. That's like one of the main attractions of Manuel Antonio is the Manuel Antonio National Park. So very beautiful. Definitely highly recommend visiting there. For me personally, living there was just like a little too noisy. I just feel like there's a lot of motorcycles but for some people, it's really fun, and a lot of people do enjoy living there. So it's just going to be up to you, and you really need to evaluate what kind of lifestyle do you want to live while you're in Costa Rica. And Manuel Antonio or Quepos might fit that lifestyle if that's what you like. So that's something to consider. Things to do there. So again, there's the national park. That would be like the biggest attraction. That has beach, monkeys, sloths, all kind of animals. It's totally worth a visit. I think it's about $16 to get in. You know, if you don't want to go to the national park, or if you've already been there, there are the beaches there in Manuel Antonio. Those beaches have I would say they're more commercialized for this area. So they have the beach chairs and the vendors and people offering surf lessons, paddle boards. They even have what's that thing whenever they take you off on the boat and you're in a parachute thing? Somebody type what that is. I can't remember the word for it. So they have more, I would say, a lot more touristy things to do. And I think it's pretty convenient because, well, it's about, let's see, 3 hours on bus from San Jose, probably less driving, definitely less, depending on traffic. So it's fairly close to San Jose. So it's kind of a vacation spot, even for Tico people on the weekends. It's close enough that a day trip, or even it's even a possible day trip from the city. So parasail, yes, that's right. Thank you. Parasailing, they have parasailing. So I would say that's kind of paragliding. I haven't seen paragliding there. I've actually seen that more down here in Uvita and Dominical. But yes, so they have parasailing. And definitely more of the touristy activities, if it's a very touristy beach. And actually, I think I have a video on my channel of Manuel Antonio Beach. So if you wanted to take a look at it. It might be somewhere where the way the buildings are constructed, there's restaurants, bars, all the boats. So that's a pretty maybe classier area. And it's pretty, so it's nice. Anybody have any questions about Manuel Antonio and Quepos? So yeah, I like that area. So that might be something to consider if you are moving. I'm not going to go over what housing costs there. That varies. There's lots of options, so the housing can really vary there. I mean, I think I had one apartment there that was $200 a month, and then I rented one that was $250, and then, it can go up from there. So the next one down from there, I'll mention this town. It's called Matapalo. It's smaller. I think it used to be more touristy than it is now. I do know expats live there. It's definitely smaller, very beautiful beach. It has one like Playa Matapalo, which has a few hotels, maybe a few restaurants, but a lot of people pass by there and don't even pop in. But with that beach, definitely keep an eye on your car. There's a very beautiful beach near Matapalo called Playa Linda, which is gorgeous. Linda doesn't have anything on it itself, and especially if you have a rental car, those can be more targeted. So that's a little bit about Matapalo. I think there's some waterfalls in there too, and again, the beach. Dominical. So I lived in Dominical town, and one road, and then the beach road, and that's it. So you could probably walk from one end of the town and the other in less than 10 minutes if you're walking fairly slowly. Kathleen, how about old lady communities? Well, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to think about that. I don't know if there's any old lady communities. A little bit. So the town below Dominical, more south, is Dominicalito. So that has that's better for beginner, intermediate surfers. And then Dominical is good, like intermediate, advanced. But I'm not a surfer, so I guess it could also depend on the tide. Maybe during low tide, a beginner could go out. So if you like surfing, Dominical is a big hot spot for that. The Baru River feeds out into the ocean there. That's absolutely gorgeous. Just don't swim near the river mouth because there are crocodiles. I've seen plenty of them around there. But if you do take that river road and start going away from the beach, there are really good swimming spots down there. And there's even some neighborhoods back there. So there's some good housing options. There's a lovely Hotel Villas Rio Mar. That's a very nice hotel in Dominical. It's very cute, has great gardens, nice pool, restaurant. Even a lot of locals. I actually had to pop by there on Sunday, and there was like a whole little group of locals there having a little pool party. So that's a pretty common gathering spot also for people who live in Dominical. So yeah, Dominical has good food. The river's there if you like fishing, surfing. And there are some tour, offices that are there. So if you like to do rafting or things like that, or rent a paddleboard. So there are some tour offices in Dominical where you could do some other activities around Dominical. So actually, I guess we'll go up now. Up the mountain from Dominical is Platanillo. Around in that area, there's Myakka Waterfall. That's a beautiful, beautiful waterfall. You used to only be able to hike to it or horseback ride, but now I think they do have shuttles that will take you to the waterfall. So it's like kind of a truck that will drive you up the road. It's a long walk. I remember telling my dad that it was like 45 minutes, and it was definitely like more than an hour and a half uphill. Was severely mistaken. I hadn't done it in a while. So yeah, the Myakka Waterfall is great. There's another waterfall, Ojochal. That is up that road as well. You would just need to look for it on a map. That's a popular waterfall as well that people like to visit. Those are two big ones that are great attractions. Platanillo, so if you go up the mountain from Dominical, obviously you're going up a mountain. So the climate is cooler. You know, it's, I would say, a little bit more fresh up there. Doesn't have, the nights are cooler. I would say more comfortable. So Platanillo is actually really, I think it's a cute, adorable little town. I don't have any tours of that town. But it's a great, adorable little town for someone who maybe doesn't want to be on the heat of the beach, but still wants to be about 15, 20 minutes away from it on a paved road. I will note that road, I do not prefer driving it at night. I don't think it's very safe. It's very windy. But overall, the road's taken care of well. It's paved. And it's a pretty easy drive to get down to Dominical on the coast and, you know, the coastal highway, which is great. So even if you're coming from the airport, it's not too difficult to go get up there. And then if you keep going past Platanillo up the mountain, you're going to get to Tinamastes, which I lived in Tinamastes as well. So I've actually lived in Platanillo. I've also lived in Tinamastes. And then I lived in the Diamante Valley in Las Tumbas as well. I don't know if you guys know. Maybe I don't know. I wish I had a map. I wish I could just show you guys a map of what I'm talking about. So Tinamastes is more, so I would say it's probably even more fresh than Platanillo. It's about maybe 10 minutes if you keep going up. And again, the time is going to vary. If you get stuck behind one of those giant trucks or a car that's just going really slow up the mountain and you can't pass, then, you know, your travel time down to the coast is going to vary. So I like Tinamastes. I think there's a great community up there. There's little swimming holes and swimming spots to go visit. There's a great farmers market on Tuesdays. I would say it's like a really community place. So a lot of expats and also locals go to this farmers markets. Well, the farmers market, whether they're a vendor or, you know, I just saw people go every week. It's kind of like their social day to go do something. So, and I think the community, the expat community up there is pretty engaged with each other. I see they get together and this is beautiful. Climate. You're still about only 30 minutes from the beach, which is great for some more affordable than living in Dominical and along the coast as well. And, you know, a lot of people have farming and permaculture. And so it's a pretty neat community up there. Definitely worth checking out. I do have one YouTube videos in my description. And actually this one wasn't on my Isidro, which is you consider a city. But when you think about it, that some of our towns here on the coast only consist of 1, 2, 3 like roads, then yeah, it's a pretty decent sized place. And I find things are a lot cheaper over there. So it's probably a place in the southern zone. You'll probably need to go to San Isidro for something. But I definitely recommend actually a lot. Now I'm above Uvita. I'm up another mountain. And then on the other side of me is San Isidro. So I go down to San Isidro pretty often now to go get things. And it's a lot cheaper. There's a ginormous farmer's market there on Thursdays. It's actually, so if you go through San Isidro, there's Mount Chiripo. And that's the highest point in Costa Rica. And I heard, don't quote me, don't totally, you know, I hope this is right. Someone did tell me that if a very, very, very clear day, if you're at the very top of Mount Chiripo, then you can actually see both sides of Costa Rica, like both of the oceans, it's pretty cool. So I have not done that hike yet. I will need to do that. But there are national parks that are also surrounding San Isidro. I like to talk about San Isidro because I think it's a good area too for people to check out who don't really care to be right on the coast or right by the beach, are looking for an affordable area, want to have good access to doctors and medical and the things that they need. San Isidro is a great area. Maybe you wouldn't want to live directly in the center of San Isidro, definitely outside of San Isidro, and very budget friendly, very beautiful. So yes, San Isidro is great. Lots of national parks, lots of nature to do around that area, as well as access to pretty much almost everything. I don't know. Costa Rica doesn't have everything, but I find everything that I need there, so that's good. Month or more. So getting in those Facebook groups, checking for rentals there. Like a bank, there's no doctors, there's no dentist, there's no ginormous dental. So if you wanted to go to the beach or the national park or things like that. The national park, the Merino Baiano National Park, which I actually heard now like closed, but you know, just with everything going on. I'm sure everything. So if you haven't Googled what the whale's tail is, definitely check that out. I have pictures of it. I used to live by it. So I lived super close. Very beautiful. Lots of people do surfing. There's a beach called Playa. So that's nice, because it's national and it doesn't have it where you go to one of the other entrances. You're actually supposed to pay, but usually, on a weekend, there might be somebody there collecting money. But a lot of times you can get lucky and there's not. So otherwise, if there was, you could just drive on the main highway 5 minutes north and you can go to Hermosa, where that's not a part of the national park. So there are, so you don't have to do one. You want to go to the beach. I feel like Uvita has a lot of just little mom and pop shops. I felt more spread out. Where I live, pasture, farmland, again near the national park, and that's kind of more checking out. You open. There's different kind of community events, multiple schools for kids, really all kinds of stuff. Like I said, multiple rivers. There are, the southern zone lined by mountains. So you could always have a rental, or if you're looking to buy. Yeah, that's a great area. And that's why I do like the southern zone. So you can get away from the heat. I don't want to finish it. Sorry if you're here on YouTube. I'm back. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much Uvita. Ojochal is pretty small. It's actually known as the capital of Costa Rica. So there's a lot of different gourmet restaurant options. I saw the French one. Tap options there. That option, pretty lucky. There's a lovely beach there, Playa Ventana. And then if you keep south, usually you'll get to Panama, to South Pacific. In some seasons you can really only get to by boat. I guess you'd go to Sierpe and then boat over to Drake's Bay. Or so living wise, I got this on Facebook. Obviously you out there. So the further you away from certain necessities, darn it, it's reconnecting again. It's also raining, so that doesn't help. Right, or it's really cloudy, so that probably doesn't help my connection. I apologize, everybody. Okay, well, I'm just gonna wrap up here. That area. Well, there's also the town of Cortez that does have some. Feel free to type your questions if you have any before I head out. It's too cloudy. Before I stop, what happens in my video and this live stream. Live. Sorry, guys, I'm not. Okay. I don't want to solve right now. Okay. Okay. Beach people, they like a quiet atmosphere, not really into hot weather. I'm areas outside of Zeledon. I was actually yesterday in this town called because I heard it before. I know there's expats that live there, but you're still in the stream. I don't know if I'm connected anymore. They're sitting around.